अपना करता चला चल, काम अपना करता चला चल, मत सोच क्या पाएगा फल, मत सोच क्या पाएगा फल.
Joining this program on a Sunday morning. So from the team, I wish everyone a very good time, and I hope there would be a lot of takeaways from this 2-hour interaction that we have after this. I have a responsibility of introducing DG. I'm sure everyone here have, in some or the other way, interacted with DG in some way or the other at some or the other event personally. So let me try and give some highlights as to what he has done so far, and give a start to this program. He has been acting as a catalyst in the field of project management for past 15 years, in leadership as a facilitator. In 2002, he founded PMI Pune chapter, which he was president till 2008. It's the same chapter that was awarded as a best chapter in the whole world, mind it, whole world, not just Asia, in 2007. So the chapter received an award for best chapter of the year in 2007. He did the MBTI, and he was awarded accreditor as MBTI administrator by Australian Psychologist Press. I think that is one of the reasons why he connects to the people very quickly. He can connect what kind of personalities you are. In 2012, American Biographical Institute awarded him as Man of the Year, and this was for his contribution in PM education. 2013, Eric Jennett Award for contribution in project management practices. The list is ongoing. As an individual, he loves playing classical music. You might have seen some of the clippings that he keeps on sharing with us. In those lighter moments, I never thought of Atharva Shirsha being converted into something related to leadership and management. But yes, last Ganesh festival, he did that. As I said, the list is ongoing, but without spending time on stage, I would like to request Parag to get DJ on a stage, facilitate, and take the charge of the event.
No, please.
I think
Not
DG for the
today.
first time, it's that chair, not this one.
Yeah, and we had to remind him that he has to sit on the left side today. And that's what we were doing for the last 15 minutes.
But I can ask questions from left, right.
That's
left side
fine.
also.
That's fine. So, before we move actually into talking with DG, just a quick background, as DG normally asks, right? Why are we doing this project? Why are we doing this interaction? So it started long back actually. This thought started long back. I know DG for close to 10 years now. Last few years, I had seen him work on multiple initiatives. Of course, attended lot of trainings and seen him interact with a lot of other people. And the more I observe him, more I felt that I don't know him. And when I started voicing this, I realized that there were many who had the same feeling. So we said, yes, we want to have DG on the other side at some point. The only question was, who will bail the cat? As you know DG, right? I mean, he rarely would want these kind of interactions. He would rarely want to be in that chair where he is being put forth and asked questions. So requested Geeta to do it, and after a few weeks of efforts, I guess, this person agreed, and here we are today. The whole idea is to make him speak. You will have your opportunity to ask whatever questions you want. I have mine, so let me use mine. Can I? Please. Prakalpataru, we have seen you work under this banner for last few years. What is it?
Before I begin answering, thanks a lot. And I mean, this is a very sober start, I should say that. You know, I was expecting saying that somebody will come with Bhagavad Gita saying that jo kahunga, sach ke siwa kuch nahi kahunga. But whatever I'll share, very few people know that I accept actually. And one more thing I want to clarify, actually, one cannot know what a person might be seeing in you. Okay, I have lots of glimpses of Balutedaars and I use it in my programs also. And one person the other day when I was in Delhi asked that, you know, this seems to be your favorite t-shirt. This is the 6th time probably I am wearing this t-shirt over here. So the answer that I gave to him, I am giving to you also. I have enough t-shirts at home. But somehow it, you know, I like this t-shirt, that's the reason I wear it. So that's how I am. Coming to the Prakalpataru, so this was definitely not spur of mind. I was thinking in 2011 October to be precise, I had decided to wind up, in fact, close down everything. I had that point in mind. By 40 of my age 40, I had decided to close down everything. But my mentor said, you don't do that. You have to do a lot of things. Transform the aim to equipment. That's what he told. I said, fantastic, nothing like it. And then I wanted to do something for the society. And then anytime when I see that society, I do not have that caliber, I do not have the aptitude and attitude also to go to the villages and serve people who are physically unfit and all. But many times I feel that society at large also covers people who are well-to-do. It's not that every time we have to serve the society who is not well-to-do. It's a high net worth society there. And therefore I started, okay, I can give something which I have. There is no point in being trader. I have something that I can transform. And that is the way Prakalpataru. And now I'm going to share something which nobody knows. Probably my family also doesn't know that. Before getting into this particular thing, I wrote my charter at Paud Fata, Dashabhuja Ganpati Mandir. I used to go there for almost 7 to 8 days consecutive. I was sitting there for totally I spent almost 12 to 13 hours there. Why am I doing all those things? Why am I closing down? And then I remember Gita also ki nacha sanna sena deva, nacha karmana manarambhat. By leaving something that you will not be able to do something that you want to do. It's just a runaway and fugitive way, which I never wanted to be. And my mentor also helped me and saying that, okay, let me transform it to that. So therefore, this name came into picture. My wife also said that this is a good name. And that's the punchline. That's the overall thought process. Sohale tapapurti se. That was the time when I concluded 12 years of my services. Therefore, I wanted to close down everything. Prakalpataruche. Deikshana Surdhansati Anandache. So what I have, probably I have moments of happiness. So let me start disseminating it. So this punchline is done by my wife. And based on that, I started doing all those things. It's a kind of a society, some kind of giving back, and I'm enjoying it. And I created a formal podium for freaking out. Actually, this is a creative podium. Though no seriousness would be accepted over here, only sincerity, full of fun and creativity.
Did you freak out your wife as well when you said at 40 you were planning to retire?
No, there is no question of retiring. There is no question of, otherwise there is no end to that. In fact, last 12, 13 years, ever since I started, in 2000, I always ask one question, and you will not believe, I got a wonderful answer in Doha, in Qatar, when I was discussing these things with Arab. I asked him that what is enough, right? And then he told, he's saying that, DG, whatever you have right now is enough. I said, fantastic, I got my answer. Whatever you have right now is enough. And I got that answer from Arab during the discussion in Doha, Qatar. So, fine, in fact, it's retirement. I don't think I will ever retire because nahi kakshit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakruta. Not a single moment you can sit without doing anything. That's a fact, and one cannot deny the fact stated by Lord Krishna. That's it.
Fantastic. Now coming back to the characters. We have seen these characters on your portal, in your sessions. What are these? Where do they come from?
These are personified project management processes. Now, I am a mechanical engineer, so I am an illiterate person. Basically, because mechanical engineers can't read, can't write. That's the definition by, in a sense, they can't read, understand in English. Because anytime when I read anything, what gets generated in my mind is three-dimensional diagram, cut section views, plan, overview, some equation, and generally I don't study if equation is not possible. Something what to study. Even today I believe for the social reason ki electrons flow, and there was somebody, okay, there is a right hand thumb rule, left hand thumb rule, it's okay, there is no point in unwarrantedly taking debate. So when I started working on project management, I said I do this particular process, but when I say process, it become non-life, and there will not be any interaction possible with somebody who is non-life there. Can I speak with the processes? And if I want to speak with the processes, I can speak with the breed that I am in. Correct. So can I convert them into a manifestation of a personification? So that lady that you are seeing there is a project management plan development process. Why lady? Because a lady or a female, we say, that's a receiving in nature. It's kind of accommodative in nature, and therefore I wrote all these things. I have character graph of all the processes drafted there. Now this is the character graph. Name, manager, project plan development. Age around 40-45. Why not 20-25? Oh, it takes that much time to be matured. It takes that much time to be accepting something that you don't want to listen to also. So that's the age, it's 40-45. Then what is the gender? Female. I told you why female. Hair color, style, black with long but thick kind of, right? Parag, can you,
yeah.
Those.
Black, thick, long but tucked in, quick rounds,
right.
casual ponytail.
I saw project management plan development process like this. Project plan development process cannot be extremely formal. When you become extremely formal, people hesitate to reconnect or connect with you. And project plan development process cannot afford to be formal if it wants to consolidate coherently and synchronized fashion. And therefore it has to be formal, but at the same time assertive, at the same time accepting nature. And therefore we said eye colors, pattern, it's like actually black, intent but soft look, soothing, gentle, eyes with which you cannot lie. So that kind of eyes that lady will have. And so on and so forth actually, apparel, clothes and standing postures. So these are actually the personifications in human form of project management processes. There is one more character that I like. In fact, do you have that risk down there actually? That's the fellow who is risk identifier. Risk identifier person should be absolutely egoless and shameless. Shubha bol Naraya Mandwala aag lagli to lagu de. That kind of nature that should be there. So he must be egoless. He should not appear jumping onto anybody, but still able to understand the environment, mental, emotional, physical, geographical. So it should be able to understand the environment over here. So how that person would be? That person will not have a very straight hair comb. Definitely not. That person will be very, very kind of so-called, you know, I mean those people who are watching that serial, Marathi serial, that Dul Dosti Dunyadari. So Ashu's character is similar to something like this. You know, the apparel should talk about saying that, hey, I can relate with this person any point in time. You know, if you now compare project plan development lady and risk management identifier, there is a difference
Absolutely.
of communication between these two people. And risk manager or risk identifier should be so informal that people should get intrigued, or people should get, you know, kind of enthused to go and speak with. And communication is a big deal in risk management. So these are the characters that I created. And that's so fun. I speak with them. People call many times mad. But kahan, kisse baat kar rahe? Oh, I have 42, 47 people to speak with.
And they are all over.
They are all over actually. I roam like, you know, 47 people are with me.
And
And there is an advantage to that. So if project management is full of impulses, it's a life. So impulses come around. Right now also there are lots of impulses are coming around to the question. There are. Now if impulses is coming, I become a trader over here. Hey, this impulse is, it's your call. Huh?
number 41.
Bas, number 41. Then that person comes in saying that I'll handle it, you take care of it. So I get free time.
People in the first row who are your family, I mean, at home also this is going to be fun, right? I mean, he has 42 people, 43 people at home moving around with him. Awesome.
No, actually now, probably now with your, this is another impulse that I got now. Because of this I understood, that's the reason I didn't speak, I don't speak.
So many.
यार इस लोगों से बात कर रहे थे अभी किसने, you know, something like that actually. 42 people to speak with. That's the deal. So I generally keep quiet.
Cool. So from drama characters, you actually moved into theatre in
Correct.
project management and started the movement,
Absolutely.
the drama in project management. It was 2013 when the first time it was done.
That's true.
Can you talk about
No, see, I followed Birbal's strategy over here. That footprint of elephant, one alone person cannot be, that is the story there. Akbar wanted that footprint of elephant to be protected for at least 72 hours. And Birbal said that, okay, let's do it collectively. So he created all the, entire timeline and the time plan for everybody. So same way I said, I am in a process of writing a 2-act play. It will come in for sure, no doubt. By 2017, it will be on stage. But I said, okay, hey, one brain will not be enough for that. The creativity, I feel I don't have that, but that will definitely not be suffice for that. So I said, okay, why can't we involve now that Prakalpataru banner or Prakalpataru podium is on stage, available. Let's get people together. And now I have decided that I will not write it. Let's write it together.
Okay.
And there are people like Nikhil Dharab sits here, Accenture, Nikhil Dev, amazing people. They write so good, they write so well.
Yes.
I think one fine day we will see project management live on stage, that is sure.
And yes, I mean, the competition, the event that you host is definitely recognized. It was in May 2015's PMI Today, it got a mention.
Yeah.
So that's what I say, a proud moment for this innovative movement.
PMI editor-in-chief is also DG. His name is Dan Goldfisher. I mean, that's how you connect with the people. You won't believe. In fact, this month, February, I received an email from DG, Dan Goldfisher, saying that, dear DG, it's February and I have not heard anything of drama. So that email comes from PMI now. Oh, that's it. So, Ami bigadalo, tumi bigadana. Okay, now they are also in the tune. Okay, now February, March, something we'll get to see something like this actually. And he is a good person actually. He actually, the tune that I have on Desh Raga, he wrote to me when he heard, saying that it's amazing composition. So you get good people.
So while we are talking about drama and characters, I just want to make a formal comment, I would say. While you entered, there was a song that was playing in the background, and that is, those lyrics are from Dhananjay's sister, Dhanashri, and that is sung by her daughter Avanti, and it is, she's working on a project which is converting one shlok from each adhyay of Bhagavad Gita into a Hindi song, and the song that was playing was based on Karmanye Vadhikaraste. So it's in the blood. That's what I just wanted to kind of say. I mean, the art that the sister has, this person has a completely different art, and the podium is a different, but probably it's in the genes. 18 months, 12 Balutedaars, probably Dhananjay rocked it, but I'm pretty sure it was not a cakewalk. Were there any moments where you had a fear of failure, or I would say quality might get compromised, that kind of feeling?
No, that's not allowed. Quality compromising is absolutely not possible.
Yes.
And therefore, fear of failure was never there. Let me confess. Fear of failure, actually, it's an ego. If I fail, so what? The definitions of failures and success are totally different. My definition of success is pretty clear. The event manifests itself. During the event, you really don't have to do anything. The energy that you have put in, the due diligence, the focus, the unattached efforts that you have put in during the preparation, that's actually the energy. And the yajna that happens over here, that happens. That time, the overall society puts in the ahuti over here. So fear of failure was not there. My definition of success was the due diligence. And quality, no, I mean, it's kind of, it's a fun, it's a hobby. So when you perform on your own, matlab apne masti mein jab ho, you really don't worry about it. And that's the time when the real quality comes into picture. Because you yourself, your conscious will not accept substandard quality work. So even a small spelling mistake will not be accepted over there. Ki yaar ye dekho, ye mistake ho chuka hai wahan. And then it's worked out very well. The things came up well. And now let me tell you why did I go ahead with this particular Balutedaar. Balutedaar was the assignment taken by me for me. Because at 40 age, I decided that I'll close down everything. Then the question came in, what will you do after that? Okay, you'll test yourself, you'll validate yourself, you'll validate your concepts, you'll continuously watch yourself internally and externally, how you respond to the world, how you respond to the overall emotions inside and outside. Okay, then create assignments for you. Laboratory creation is simple. So then I created laboratory over here. So why not one? Why 12? Because it must test your tenacity. So, tan, man, dhana, it's easy. Because you can put in your tan, you can work for 20 hours, 24 hours, that doesn't matter. Once you are an engineer, you are bound to do that. Then man and then if tan and dhan is there, and if you have decided, man has no choice but to work. So that is one way. But then during that particular Balutedar period, there were incidences, there were lots of emotional pressures created by very close people, by very remote people also. But that time, the only competency that I was developing, and I am telling you, it is developed. I can see myself totally third party, very clear, saying that okay, that is her choice, that is his choice, let him go ahead with that. I cannot go away from the job that I have decided. And that was the precise adjective and the overall objective behind this particular way. When I wrote the charter for Balutedar, I have written to test myself, to test my tenacity, ability to respond to the impulses, positive and negative, that comes to me from society and within. That was the job.
Awesome. And of course, you put a lot of effort, attention to details, beat sound, lights, prep work.
Because the people whom I meet, they are like that. So you have to be. So you know that's actually that's a transaction with Dr. Raja Dandekar there. Amazing personality, superb. All, in fact, you know, look at that. The last photograph down there, in the left hand side down, he is Nikhil, Dr. Nikhil Latte.
Yeah.
So he actually was the interviewee. Oh, but he didn't hesitate to sit on the stage, and he validated this. He went through the slide flow, and we checked it. Okay, audience, this, that, because that time the screen was here. So the light arrangement was little different, but he did that actually. So these are the people who go to the details actually, and that's I enjoy. So that moments before the events are amazing. It's like, you know, when the classical music, what I like in concert, of course the concert, actual concert is amazing, but before that, you know, minus 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, when they tune their instruments, that's the peak.
Correct.
That's the time they are into it. Actually.
Yeah, and Dhananjay was probably at his peak at 10:15 today. 10:15. He walks in and says, "What can I do? Is everything fine?" I mean, he enjoys it so much. I was evident from his body language, and thanks to Anand. Anand said, "You're not crossing that line today. Till you are invited, you're not coming from that point."
Well, let me confess actually, you know, when you were setting up I was checking, is it parallel? Is it horizontal? नहीं आ रहा यार, देख वहाँ से उठा ले.
Yeah, that's the fun part. But I again want to show something more, and that is the session plan, minute by minute account as to what happens over here. And to prepare to that level, there is hours of work behind that. So the kind of prep work that's needed is non-negotiable, right?
Because I am answerable for a minute of everybody over here.
Yes.
Because people come in over here, let's say even if on average there is 85 into 120, Bharati Shanna, we are crossing 10,000 minutes per 2 hours actually. I am answerable. So if to my invitation, if people are coming in, not a single minute should go waste. Every action that happens on stage must have some logic behind it.
Absolutely. And it is also about the effort, and then there are expenses to it. And this is your Balutedar account.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody asked me, but then I ask myself, because okay, if I ask you, how many hours have you spent on the total Balutedar? At the end of the 12th Balutedar, how much time will you take to answer that? My SLA is 25 seconds. But, so then I said, oh God, that means right from first Balutedar, I should have all those details. And therefore, I created all those details. So I think 740 hours, total man hours are spent, 12,82,000 total expenditure, including man hour. Consider 1,500 rupees per hour average rate.
So that's a notional.
That's a notional figure
that you put. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. The idea behind this thing is that okay, you know, giving money to anybody, it's the simplest job.
Yes.
Probably the least. No, money contributes, but in fact we need it. But then if I simply draw a check of 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, actually, there I don't think I have done due diligence to that particular person who is doing that actually. So therefore I had decided that everything, a single penny will go to a village called Devrug. Santosh Joshi is here.
Santosh.
Right. He stays at Devruk. He is my younger cousin, I mean the elder cousin, and he heads RSS Janakalyan Samiti. So I mean I'm obliged by those people. That's it. So we pass it to them. As simple as that. I learned how to read a person from Santosh and my sister-in-law, his wife Neha, and they told me how to connect with the people, and it's for them.
All right, great. So we talked about Prakalpataru, Balutedar, drama, and that was over and above your engagements, which are in training, coaching, consulting, mentoring, working with different organizations. There has to be a team behind this to do so many things that are required, right?
Definitely. While answering this particular question, probably I would like to cut the chronology into two parts, till 2012 and post 2012. Now, there was a person who used to take care of logistics, travel, stay. I roamed a lot actually, across globe in fact. But then there was a person who used to take care of packaging, all the training materials, anything, the consulting work and so on and so forth. The content development was a massive work that is been done. Client communication, that there was a person to do that. Negotiations, commercials negotiations, general negotiations, even the participants follow, participant database. I like to get in touch with participants. I'm an introvert person, but I communicating with emails and all that is there. There was a person who used to take care of expense and income maintenance also. The name of doing all these, logistics person, packaging person, content development client is Dhananjay Gokhale.
So it was a
Honestly,
one-man army.
Till 2012, I did that, till 2012. I mean, it worked well with me. Let me accept, let me confess. If there would have been bigger team, probably I would have made a mess out of it. Somehow I am say that, yeah, let me do it. And I had a lot of time. It was a lot of time that I had. I work only for 10 days. Now, work in a sense, my facilitation and the consulting, the billability, so to say, is for 10 days. So, remaining 20 days I had nothing to do. So, then why can't I do that? It happened very fast, actually, tremendous. And then, it also created a sense of responsibility and accountability. I had nobody to point a finger at.
Correct.
Okay, to whom to point a finger at? To me. Then it's perfectly alright. So from that, all those 25 seconds SLA came into picture. I created that SLA. I was told.
Yes.
I told you. Okay, if the laptop is open and if I want some data, if I say that, hey, okay, some client has contacted me saying that, yeah, you remember and so on and so forth. Okay, within 25 seconds, by the time that person goes in, can I say that Alt F8 open control F that? Okay, that's. So I wanted to do that actually because. Like I said, I follow Seagull. Seagull and SMED, those books and all, that helped me a lot, and that's the idea behind it. But then when I decided to close down, and when that person said that, no, don't do that, then I said, okay, then I need to contribute something to myself. Then what part I came in. And post 2012, then Geeta joined. And then I transferred all logistics and commercial parts to her. Okay, I will not look into that. Anyway, I had never had a target of revenue. Even today, I don't know my revenue. And I had decided right from 2000, whenever I started that, this is something that I need. Whatever that gets beyond that, it's bonus. No targets for revenue. So then my logistics part, travel, stay, packaging, negotiations, correspondence, participants follow-up, expense income maintenance, except content development, everything is transferred to Geeta from 2012. That gave me a lot of time. Yes. And that was planned move. Since that time was available, I said, okay, now let's move. It's like, simple. When the loan gets over, the EMI amount should go to SIP.
Yeah.
Right.
Ideally.
Otherwise, it's a waste of money there. So then that saved time. I contributed to Balutedaars, Prakalpataru, all those activities there. And volunteers. I mean, I really obliged by all those people. I don't know what I can do for them because just on email and one message, people come over here. You must have seen the volunteers work at the drama. Hats off to them. I mean, I don't know how can I, repay their obligations. I mean, I will not consider that an obligation as such, but hats off to them. Volunteers are amazing actually. And I cannot forget one set. For society, I am using the word called vendors. because that is understood by people, but they are never my vendors. Actually, they are the partners, literally. Mr. Sanjay Gadgil. And you will not believe, I mean, he is the one who always provided travel, commuting arrangement, road travel and arrangement, actually. Safest person. In a sense, quality I learned from these people, let me confess. I started rendering his services from 2002, 2001. Till 2008, we had not met.
Oh, wow.
We didn't know. If he would have come in front of me, I would not have recognized him. We always used to call, and do that. It's like that. Gadgil says that, right? That it is done. That kind of vouchability these people have. Amit Bachel, all this printing and all. Sometimes I say that even I also don't do due diligence, such a due diligence that Amit does to my work. Then Dasharath, oh, I must communicate this particular part to you. Sorry for that. Sure. But in software industry and otherwise also, estimation is a big part. Actually, it's a guesstimation. In engineering, 10 gaya, 12 gaya, 12 basat nahi ka, 19 gaya. Something like that actually. So, it's like, fit to that particular requirement. It is never from what is required to what is necessity. This person, when I went to speak with him, somebody told me that there is a good person there who does a good reproduction there. I went to him saying that, this is the book that I want to reproduce. This is the content that I have developed. Here is a master and you reproduce. He put out the calculator and he said that, I said, don't worry about the money, I will give it to you. Come at 1 o'clock. I said, this person should be conducting estimation training to the industry. Right? And when I went there at 1 o'clock, sir, I asked him, he said, how? And then he gave me the complete logic. He said that I have 4 machines, I have 3 people, one person is on leave. There is a high chances that this machine will conk off.
Oh.
And and then you have around 300 pages material. If I keep this job away right now, then it will take 1 hour. After this, and it's nearby colleges. So otherwise it will take at 12 o'clock, considering all these things 1 o'clock. So that fellow, who is not even 10th standard educated fellow, this kind of vendors I got, Atul Mahadik, Bhagesh, is actually the person who takes care of the site and all. So this is my team.
Awesome. Source of energy to do all this.
Yeah.
Of course, you have volunteers, you have a team, you had the methodology, attention to details, all that, but you still need energy.
So basically, it's a problem with me is that, that is something that I am trying to learn from my son. I don't understand if I have nothing to do. Kind of, So I get sometimes, okay, so therefore I now sit alone. Now I have understood what to do when I have nothing to do. But till then, energy is actually work. In fact, I have never created that so-called work-life balance and all. Because I never understood how come work is different from your life. How come life is different than work. You cannot cut work and life. If you are able to cut it, then conflict will be over forever.
Correct.
Right. Since the conflict are there, that means you are not able to cut work and life. So there is no life, there is no work, it's together. So if that's there, then energy comes in fact, that much I can tell you. But there are 2 parts of energy that I definitely pay attention to. Physical energy and mental energy. I manage time, but before managing the time, I manage my energy. So first energy management and then time management. There are ups and downs. Sine curve, the sine wave is always there for everything. So mental energy, it comes from this creativity, something new. Performance on the stage, the facilitation, and the big picture that you are seeing, this is the source of my energy. Left hand side.
Jonathan Livingston
Seagull. Since 1989, I am reading that book. Even today, I have not read it complete. 129 pages. Most of you might have read it. If a bird of 42 inches can do that, then man of 165 centimeters, why can't it? That's a simple call. So if that fellow can give 24/7 hours to his aim, to his goal, I think I have to do that. So that energy comes into picture. So work life, performing arts, and of course physical energy have to be maintained because facilitation is the job where our fluid mechanics professor, Mr. Shrotri, he used to say that this is the least efficient equipment.
Oh.
I don't know what is the efficiency, but it is definitely least. If he says it is least. So it is least efficient equipment. So physical energy always maintained. I do exercise. Surya Namaskara is there. Omkar. I sit quiet. In fact, sitting quiet is my energy generation. And there are harbingers of negative energy. I can make out. Okay, this thought came to your mind. It's an harbinger for negative energy. Another 1 hour's time, probably you will be lulling actually, kind here and there. Move. Do some work where your mind that monkey will get connected. Then what do? I put these stickers to CDs. I pack the CDs. I throw off some unwarranted documents and all. So this is how I manage my energy. The source of energy is Seagull. That's it.
Okay. Now at this stage, I just want to kind of move on into some more details. And as I said, I know him for 10 years and had enough opportunities to interact at various forums. And because of this interview as well, met him quite a bit in last couple of weeks. I happened to see a file from 1997-98. So that was even before probably Dhananjay started this professionally. And this was construction of his own house. And I could not resist putting those pictures on the screen, Dhananjay. And it's a project, 97-98.
Confidential documents.
Yeah, I mean, I should put that. Hey, camera off kara. That's okay. So, can you talk through this?
Yeah, this work?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, actually, this work made my PMP cleared. I'll tell you why. Because I cleared PMP examination in 2001, and I never understood why people study so much for that exam. But fine, I mean, let people study. But then, this is the work that I did. See, basically, my mother has that very clear wish or dream, whatever you want to say, that we want to have home at in Pune. So when I decided to take on this particular project, one thing is there, I was a trustee to this particular project because I was an executor, I was an instrument. Any project manager is fundamentally an instrument. So same I was there. So I don't know, at that time I didn't even know what is project management, so on and so forth, but somewhere that is there in the blood probably. My father's work is amazing. Many times I say that, even work would love to get done by this fellow.
Oh.
Something like that actually. Because he used to do so smoothly, so softly, no negative energies around, no vibes of why and why not actually. Amazing fellow. So then the documentation thing and all came into that. So I was in Pune, and that time WhatsApp and Facebook was not there. So I was in Pune, my father and mother was in, parents were in Bombay. So I created a complete charter, negotiation note and so on and so forth. So because it's the dream they have talked about. I am an executor and I must be trustee to their dream to the 100% call. So I never used to say that it's my home. It's actually the home that they built. And so therefore this much due diligence was necessary. All those things that you are talking about over here. So it helped me there. And even today I have this particular documents with me, notes and all. Actually this gives me a peace of mind, let me confess. And I always try to seek in 1 minute extra in 24 hours. And today I have come to a conclusion saying that if you are systematic, you get lot of time to freak out. And I do get it. Even during this particular work, even my civil contractor later told, first he got upset with me, but later he said that, oh, I learnt a lot. Complete actually. So
these are the initial communications with the first left-hand side image. Then there are site reports.
But there is a mistake. Can I tell you now? Now I can tell you. The name of the project that I have given that time on February 1997 is Operation Construct. So I am wrong. So it should be Project Construct actually.
Project Construct.
That's fine, sure.
Yeah, that is granted. You were not a PMP at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean the images are not legible, but I had few minutes to glance through that, and status report with utmost transparency. Anybody reading it, even after 15 years, could understand what was happening on that day, what was done on that day. And the best part was the way it was organized. I mean, we talk about those lessons learned, OPS. This was a classic example of how to maintain those assets. And I could just go to a section and see what I wanted to kind of course, with his permission, can I go to the bills part, the expenses part kind of stuff? and it was amazing. I have some more captions from the same project, and I just want to read it because that speaks volumes about this person. This is part of a letter that was written to his father.
Business case.
Yeah, it was explaining the business case in terms of whether to buy a flat or construct a home. And he's talking about the location of the plot where he wants to construct. And he's मेधाताईच्या घरापासून एक्झॅक्ट 5 किलोमीटर, स्कूटरने 10 मिनिट, बसचे 4 स्टॉप, आरतीचं कॉलेज जिथे होतं तिथून पुढे 2 किलोमीटर. नाउ यू फिगर आउट व्हॉट इज युअर मेट्रिक, यू फिगर, बट आय हॅव प्रोव्हाइडेड इनफ इन्फॉर्मेशन सो दॅट दोज coordinates are seen. Amazing. I mean, your father would have probably got it like that in terms of what you want to say, right?
He would have got it otherwise also, because he of that visualization was amazing at his level.
And the second part is even the image in between. Probably you will not be able to read it, so I'll read it again. हे पत्र कुरिअरने पाठवायचं कारण म्हणजे कोकणला जायच्या आधी तुम्हाला यावर विचार करता यावा. मी शुक्रवारी रात्री आल्यानंतर सांगण्यापेक्षा तुम्हाला हे सगळं आधी कळावं आणि त्यावर तुम्हाला मला काही सांगता यावं. Now this is a justification that he is giving in terms of why is he sending that 4-page letter by courier and not post.
Because courier charges more than simple post, and it was not my money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I'm saying is that consciousness and that thought process in terms of what the other person might think, what questions might come in other person's mind is addressed upfront, and hats off. Amazing. The third part is something that I loved. I mean, and it was a letter on a letterhead that said, "From the desk of Dhananjay."
That the credit goes to Mr. Bapat, my first Atul Bapat, my first boss in Mercedes-Benz, 1993. He used to tear off page if you don't have letterhead. I mean the heading and footer. He simply used to tear off. At 95, 96, when I was MBA graduate with good marks, with good track record, whatever, so-called intelligence and all, he didn't even read a paragraph. First time he said that I think I should not be able to, I will not read it, because this letter doesn't have header footer. This letter doesn't have page number. So even today, when I write, like you write Shri, I should write Bapat, right? But then, no, because that, it's like, I remember him like Chitale Master. Those who have heard Chitale Master of Pula Deshpande, those two friends get connected with each other just because the evidence of 9th word in the line was deleted and rewritten on the 10th, the next. So then he said that, are you the student of Chitale Master? So even today I get upset. There are a lot of reasons I get upset. In fact, there will be hardly few I don't get upset. But if the email comes in, and then the spelling mistakes are there, saying that how come people write such things, or with no header footer, anyway, that's how that came in. Actually.
So this was about your example of construction, but we have seen the similar detailing or even more for drama. I mean, we were part of a volunteering group and we had those prep-up meetings, right?
No, you cannot be Hippocratic. So that's my second nature. If I am doing this in this work, I will not think of not doing this work. It will happen at the subconscious level. With this, I get more time. So if I am getting more time, which no one can buy, I have to do this, and I do it. And therefore, these are roles and responsibilities. I write it down very clearly. It's a complete visualization. Documentation, to my perspective, is actually an opportunity provided for a systematic visualization of the work that is at hand. Okay, when you start documenting it, you start rehearsing it. Okay, I am asking him to be at the DVD desk. What will he do there? I am asking it to be at the back-end, back-end governor. Anand was there at the back-end governor there. What will he do? If you come and ask me saying that, tell me what exactly am I supposed to do? Well, then I need to write each and every word or each and every sentence starting with a verb. What will you do? What will you not do? What are the various factors that you will end up encountering there, and what are the antidotes that you need to be ready? In case you are in difficulty, whom he should contact actually.
Correct.
So those things are there actually. So like, here I am seeing the name of Nachiket Joshi, and then again I'll tell you how it saved my time. Because once this Excel worksheet is ready, Outlook helps me in mail merging. So I never wrote emails for any volunteers. The emails were ready in bits and pieces in a systematic way in Excel worksheet. I simply used to create the word mail merge document, pass it some actually. So it helped actually. And in 2013, it took me almost 2.5 hours to create this particular document. But in 2015, it took me 15 minutes. So I've saved 1 hour 45 minutes. That's it.
So the repeatability. And I can vouch it helped us as well. Whoever were the volunteers, we could see who's doing what and what kind of transitions we have. If I am late, who's going to suffer? You know what I mean?
No, but now I have a question. There I am sure somebody must have said that. Yeah, this is we know, right?
No. So I'll tell you what. I mean, RACI, we talk about creating responsibility assignment metrics, the RACI model, and all that. But when it comes to implementation, people are blank. And we have seen that in office, we have seen it in other forums as well. When we saw this, oh, this is so simple to do.
It is simple.
This is what the reaction was. It was not, why is he teaching us? It was like, oh, this is so simple to do. Now that I have something to look at, it becomes a lot easier to work through. So I think it is not that we criticize. We may pass, we may make a joke of it some point, but it is still appreciated. I can tell you that. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, all those preparations helped in terms of getting that drama through pretty smoothly. And it's a lot of work, right, from prep meeting to the closure, right?
It's a fun. Actually, it's a fun. Actually.
So I've got those photographs in terms of you're talking with people.
There is a connect to drama. I'll quickly touch base actually. See, we say that, the human breed is the topmost in all the incarnations and reincarnations actually. I always say that in human breed, project management or project managers are the topmost breed. की नरदेह श्रेष्ठ, project manager श्रेष्ठतम in नरदेह असं म्हणायचं म्हणजे no, why? Because see, the drama actually makes you act to an extent. Ki when I am playing a role, let's say, in this time Praj, there was that integration priest. So when Milind was playing that particular role, Milind knew that he is Milind, right? And he was playing that role of implementation priest, whatever. So that time he was so aware ki I am Milind and I am playing this particular role. Can I do that in my project? Ki I am Dhananjay and I am project manager. So I am not Dhananjay who is a project manager is different than Dhananjay. I am honest to that particular that character for that moment. Once I am out, where is project manager? So that's the idea behind the drama.
Amazing. I mean, that's probably you have already started talking about my next question, which is the learnings that you have over a period of time with this experience.
Definitely, I would certainly like to talk about it. This one is non-attachment for sure. Definitely. I've seen it. If I say it's my project, there are high chances that project will be messed up. And it happens with the kids also. Moment I say it's my son, you had it, right? Fundamentally, he has chosen you as your father. Let's accept the fact. So same way, you are destined. Your project has chosen you to be a project manager. Otherwise, how come your boss understood that you should be a project manager? Boss also never thinks about, so it's destined to an extent. So one has to be completely detached. In a sense, it's not my project. I am the trustee to this particular project. Like a trustee behaves for anything, he is equally interested in the project. He is equally interested in the work. He will do whatever possible, but he will not get indulged into that. So that's the biggest learning that ever I had. Being at that particular moment there, that's another part. And non-indulgence in past, that much I can definitely tell you, and let me share it over here also. Moment I am out of this particular stage, I do not talk about what happened on the stage. Because first 12 years, I did not have a liberty to spend time in speaking about what happened. Because immediately after this particular thing, oh yeah, that list is pending. After that list, that is pending. But that automatically helped me on one thing, saying that I saved a lot of time in unwarranted indulgence. Ki हाँ हे छान झालं ना तो पण आला होता काय साडी छान होती. Sorry, I mean we can go ahead with that. Lessons learned documentation, I should do it immediately.
Right.
If I have a flight after this particular program, on flight, moment I board the flight, I write down the lessons learned actually. But that lessons learned also, it's not an indulgence. I say that he did that work, let me write what happened. So that kind of triology used to work very well on that particular part. So the non-attachment is very clear, non-indulgence I learned very hard way. Otherwise it's difficult for a project manager to do the project. It's all sorts of funny characters around when you do the projects. And being in the moment, right now what is necessary. So many times we say that don't worry about the future. Therefore we say plan for the future. Plan. So how do you see the efficiency of planning? They are inversely proportional. If the plan is nicely done, your worry should go down. The fact is that you are worrying. That means you are not doing due diligence to the planning. As simple as that. That's a basic harbinger over here. So when we write lessons learned, we are in present.
Correct.
Because today, at this moment, I am writing what happened in past. When I am planning, today, at this moment, I am thinking future, but I am today. So that's the deal there. And that is hardcore lesson learned. I have come to that particular conclusion. You cannot be honest to everybody. Because honesty is a perception, very clearly. Because if people don't want to listen to you, if people don't want to understand what you are talking about, whatever you say, whatever you prove, people will not. It happens with customers also, it happens with your team members, it happens with other project managers also. The perceptions have no end. So then, to what I can be honest to the project? I must be honest to the project. Now that I am being chosen to manage this particular project, come what may, I will be the buddy for that particular project. Because shall I do the project or shall I not do this project? Shall I do the Balutedaar or shall I not do this Balutedaar, this particular thing? That should happen much before, not during the work. Imagine at that Myanmar that incidents happen. Just imagine one of the paramilitary commando that time saying that, yeah, I think aaj nahi karte operation. What would have happened to that operation? That initiation has taken care. No way, you do it and come back. And if you don't want to come back, die there. As simple as that. So that point in time, you have only one artifact and only one part that you have to be honest to. And if you are honest to your work, which has been well thought about and well initiated, don't worry about anything else. That is these 4 learnings I have learned hard way. And that much I always preach.
And it in fact came pretty prominently in the PM oath as well, something that you created long back, and we see that everywhere. In the programs, in the portal, stands out in terms of the message.
That's true. It's 2008 that I created. Again, it's not a spur of moment. Let me tell you about. Every time I ask from 2000, okay, you call yourself project manager. Yes, yes. Then all other professions have oath. It's actually bad luck for this particular profession. Whenever I go to doctors, there is an oath of the doctors there. Lawyers they have oaths everywhere. Only this profession doesn't have oath. Maximum professionals in this particular profession are confused. How do I generate the energy for myself when I begin any program? I always ask, how many of you are project managers? And there is a fun. I'll ask you, how many of you are project managers here? Then people start asking self, yeah, project manager who? Right? So, now imagine if there are chartered accountants sitting over here, all 97 people over here who are chartered accountants over here. So then I said that how many of you are chartered accountants? Those people will beat me. Didn't you know the profile of the participant that you are speaking with? That doesn't happen with project managers. Most of the time saying that, well, this is unexpressed expression which one can read on their faces. I think so, but organization doesn't.
They have not given me the title yet.
That's there. So such a confused profession. And how can we say it's a profession? If the professionals are confused, then if somebody asks me, are you a project manager? Yes, I am a project manager. Then what is the lighthouse for you? Because most of the time project managers are in sinking ship. So then, what is the lighthouse here? What is the nearest lighthouse? Boss, my lighthouse is this. There is no confusion. I am a project manager. First of all, first line. See, basically, I was thinking on that from 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. I am working with so many organizations. I know that this should happen. But that was the idea behind it. And then we must be proud of it. Many times, I see people faces as if they are saying that, once I used to do robbery. So even a robber would be much more, what I can say, proud about his profession. Project manager, this is project manager who kind of actually. So that happens actually. I am proud of it. Where is the concern that I am a project manager? I am a project manager, and that's where that line came in. I will never get attached to the project, and therefore there wasn't any moment where I had any fear of failure. Absolutely. I had fear of not doing due diligence. That fear is always there. Have you done your work best? Can you extend that best to further superlative? That is always there actually. So that is the oath. If you wish, we can take this oath. Shall I say that? Would you like to take that? Okay. Oh, you are standing, huh? Chala, oath hai to. Chalo, no problem. We are project managers.
Project managers.
I'll tell you, you are all, definitely. We are proud of it.
We are proud of it.
We shall never get attached to a project.
We shall never get attached to a project.
We shall never hate ambiguity and chaos.
We shall never hate ambiguity and chaos.
So after these two negate statements, one has to comment on positive statement also. So क्या करोगे आप? We shall bring in predictability and visibility.
We shall bring in predictability and visibility.
We shall make life more simple.
We shall make life more simple.
More beautiful.
More beautiful.
More meaningful.
More meaningful.
दाताना प्रसाद गुंजा. अरे.
This is for you. This is amazing. It's a good learning actually, and something that we keep. This is in return of that.
Kadua.
Yes. There is something related to oath on it.
एक टी-शर्ट मिळाला बरं का.
वेगळ्या रंगाचा.
Okay. This is. किती ओट टाकले
Okay. Now I'm playing a video that I had. I think Dhananjay posted it on Facebook as well. He's playing Bhairavi. So this guy is not only a professional, a mentor, a facilitator. This guy has multiple facets and love for instruments. And there are some unique habits as well. So I had been to his place recently as well. And there is some number written on the wall there. And there is a ektari, there is a harmonium, there is that number. And you ask him what those numbers are. It's an important number. And it can be anything. And I'm yet to get that answer, but maybe at some other point. Can we? Now. So I want to have some rapid fire questions. Okay. No, ubar raho. Your favorite author?
Favorite author? Actually, not really, but I listen to Osho a lot. He's an author, in a sense.
Yes. Favorite artist?
Pula Deshpande, Khidiya.
Your most appreciated work?
My most appreciated work from the people around, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and that is 2-dimensional diagram for the entire PMBOK. And 38 minutes movie for entire PMBOK. One should listen to that and that is, I enjoyed it actually.
Your favorite knowledge area?
Risk.
Favorite process group?
Initiating.
Most used conflict management strategy?
There are two perspectives to this. Right? When you are a project manager and when you are not a project manager. So when in personal life I use avoidance, I have started using it. And in professional life, except avoidance, whatever possible, I'll do it.
Cool. Least used risk response?
Avoidance.
Age?
Current?
Of course. Project manager is at the moment.
43 running. Okay. 44 running, I think.
Hours you work per day or per month?
So actually, whenever I am awake, there is no work, frankly. I don't know how to answer this particular question. But I get up sometimes at 7 o'clock, sometimes at 4 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock. But whenever I get up, around 12 hours, aram se.
Per day?
Matlab, there is no work as such. I consider that I don't know whether you want to call it work or otherwise.
So 360 hours a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Most beloved memory.
Most beloved memory that goes with, that is always there in my mind. When I was going for 12th standard, last subject, mathematics, and that time these finger got cut totally. There were two parts. I didn't realize it when it got cut. That's a good part. So I was walking through, and I was holding that wooden pad, and I got slipped, and then it cut. And then I saw that, look, this is cut. So even today, I am amazed, and because of that incident, actually my life became easy there onwards. And then actually I picked up that cut finger, I put it over here, and I said, yeah, it is bleeding a lot. And the maths paper was there actually. So there was South Indian family nearby, Matunga, I am talking about that Ruya, and so I went there saying that, hey, cut jala. So and that lady, that grandmother was there actually, she treated, and then I went to the college. The supervisor also said that, were you able to write, and so on. I said, I write by right hand actually. So this is my left hand per se. So that is the really memorable. There onwards, I heard so many things from my doctor saying that, how come you are so calm and quiet? I said, from Matunga, even if it was shouted, how would you have heard? So, and I had to make a choice there. Okay, shall I make a excuse of it? Or shall I say, okay, that is the botheration of this particular hand, right? So till the time my blood goes down and I am not able to recollect, that's there. But I got 98. So that's 2 marks which I didn't get, and say because of this.
Favorite instrument?
Favorite instruments? Basri, flute.
Number of training programs designed?
Crossing 40-42.
Number of participants?
10,000 plus for sure.
Favorite training program?
Favorite training program is 1 day, fun-filled, complete, activity-based project management, sensitization.
On a day you are free, what do you do?
On a day, if I am free, what do you do or what will you do?
What?
Okay, generally what I do. No, if I am free on a day, I am not supposed to do anything that otherwise I do. Something like
That's
that.
your car.
Oh, then there is no free day.
You don't quiz the quiz master, okay?
Okay, sorry, but there is then there is no free day, frankly. So okay. let's take a hypothesis. Something that I am not doing, if I want to do that, then I will definitely walk for 5 to 6 hours. I will sit quiet for 4 to 5 hours, aram se. I will exercise. But that's it, that thing is 12 hours are over.
One key competency of project manager?
Key competency of project manager is, as I told you, I should, in fact they are connected, renunciation or being honest to the project.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Dhananjay as an author, translator, renunciation is there already.
That's true. See, I translated this Animal Farm. In fact, I read this in '87. In fact, all the books that I read, the total credit goes to my brother-in-law, Amol. I never went to the library and saw that. He used to tell me that you should read it. I never asked him why to read it. I read it. And it always helped me. And I always do whatever he says when it comes to books and all. So I read that. And when I read The Animal Farm, that time in '87, I said that, hey, it's a book on communism by George Orwell. But I see that Animal Farm everywhere. The moment there are more than 4 people coming together, Animal Farm does exist. Those who have read, you will understand. There will be people like Snowball, there will be people like Napoleon, Boxer. Like, it's an allegory on Rupa kehte. How animals, like the best part of Animal Farm is the last commandment. All animals are equal, but some are more equal. Right? So that attracted me, and therefore I decided to translate it. And as I said, I had the time. So what to do? I wrote it. I translated that, and Atharva, as I said, yeah, there are many things that comes to my mind. In fact, I have I don't have a diary. Whatever things comes to my mind, I make immediate note. Okay, I want to elaborate this particular topic. Now, right now, I'm thinking on wet bigara, or I'm writing something on bonded laborers. So that topic, and same way renunciation. The renunciation actually I presented in Hong Kong in 2005. Okay, there was a conference saying that soft skills. I said fundamental soft skill is this. If you have this, let's are all operational, right? So these are something that I am doing. this.
Influencers. Your influencers, who all influenced you so far? Based on the conversations that we had, the first few names that you put forth were
That's
these.
true. But there are two parts, by the way, influencers and supporters. So now those all who are supporters should not get offended कि हमारा नाम क्यों नहीं है कह रहे. All supporters, influencers.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, asterisk. That is another competency project manager should have. I always say that. Project manager should have a pocket full of asterisks. भरा हुआ रहना चाहिए. Anything that is asterisk.
Conditions apply.
Subject to change. Right? Yeah, grandfather, father and my son. Absolutely. I mean, these three people, unknowingly, knowingly, they taught me three distinct things. Father, he never taught me. But I learned, just because of his presence actually, how to get the work done smoothly without work not getting known that he is being done. So the smooth call actually is like a river flow. Grandfather was tenacity. Come what may. Once you do it, you have to do it. Once you say that, you will have to do it. Come what may. So tenacious or tenacity, don't run away. And he fundamentally taught me one fantastic thing, which actually goes credit to him. Ki excel without any competition. Sorry. Ki there is no competition actually. So never get worried about competition. Don't you jump yourself into the competition. Then you will make a mess out of it. Right? Okay. On the lighter tone, I will say that, you know, that dialogue, Bachchan ka, hum jahan se khade wahan se line. So no that, and son, okay, I told you, I am learning, ki he can sit aram se. He sits quietly actually. I said, wow, look at that. Will I be able to sit like him? Actually, that sometimes creates pressures for kid. Osho, he changed my life, definitely, no doubt about it. That fellow, see, many contributions by that, obviously. These are influences, and Apte Guruji. Apte Guruji, like, you know, he stays at, running now 90 plus, he stays at Brahman Karayalaya. He is an ex-Air Force fellow. After 25 years of services in ex-Air Force in front, he decided, I will leave the job, and what will I do? He said that, I will do something that I love. So what did he love? He used to do the Vedic, amazing. And this person, in fact, every training program, I remember Apte Guruji. Whenever he used to come at our home, what a backup he used to create. In fact, what he used to say that, ki Yajman, the host, if I see the instruments, if I see the apparatus for the puja, if he sees something missing, and if I ask, te nahi hai ka? It is not there, that may talk about your due diligence, your readiness of the checklist, but you are not understanding, with that question you are creating a negative energy around. The woman at home, or the lady at the home, or the master, or the host, he says that, that is an impulse of negative energy over here. What he used to do that, nahi hai kami varto. What he had everything as a backup. All apparatus that is necessary for any ritual, he used to carry with him. We never heard. So then that actually I took it from him. I consider every training program as a puja. The client is host and the people sitting in front of him, Abhishek tencha aur hoto. So actual puja happens with that. So then I should not create any negative energy there. Nahi hai na mark. Okay, you have been working in this particular field for last 16 years. If you don't know what is the minimum apparatus, you should leave this job. So then carry everything with you.
You are carrying a bag today as well?
That is Nemi Dastiri, that is there actually.
No, I saw a larger bag, so I think for today also you have
that
a
I am going to Indore. So, but that is there. The पानाची चंची कशी असते ना? ती सुना का ते सगळं म्हणजे त्याच्यात ते नाहीये. ते म्हणजे that the masking tape, this, that actually, so it happens.
You are also a fan of those characters.
Right. So influencers are of two types. Influencer, manifested influencers, which whom we can see, touch, speak, communicate. But there are people, or instance, unmanifested influencers like Rao Sahib. Shamelessness, pure shamelessness, non-indulged shamelessness is Rao Sahib. I mean, those who have heard Rao Sahib, anytime I hear Rao Sahib, I mean, सगळ्या भावना येतात. I mean, sometimes I cry on my own. Ki, this fellow, if I can become at least 10% of Rao Sahib, I have attained, kind of, right? Same way, Chitale Master. Oh, that's the fundamental competency that a facilitator should have. In fact, in my Train the Trainer program, I give a case study saying that explain Chitralaya Master for 1.5 hours. And then probably we'll think about what is a facilitator. So Chitralaya Master, Haritatya is actually tells you कि you should forget an ego. Even on mid-road, you should be able to enact. Kaka, mala vatsva. That time you should not be able to, Are bapre, what people will say that. No, when you are at the facilitation, you should be shameless. You have to deliver something that your participant wants. And finally, J.K. Malvankar. J.K. Malvankar is a character written by, first three characters are written by Pula Deshpande. And the last character is written by Vapu Kale. That person tells you, he says in that, we have inferiority complex. We have superiority complex. J.K. Malvankar has equanimity complex. If I learn equanimity, you are out of everything, right? So you will not end up showing something, neither you will end up hiding something. When you are inferiority complex, you hide something. When you are superiority complex, you show something like that. So then J.K. Malvankar, aha. So these are actually my influencers. You at least once in a day, yeah, aate jate, milte. So addition to those 42. They are 9 hours. So I speak with them. And another unmanifested influence are books. These 5 books, they are there. One is Seagull, that's actually the masterpiece. So that energy maintenance happens through Seagull. Whenever the sine curve goes down, I simply open the Seagull, whatever page comes in saying that, hey, enough, start work, right? So the goal actually makes you understand what is the bottleneck, where your work gonna get impacted. And if you are able to understand that, work flows on its own. Like a flow, right? Yeah. You just remove some kind of matti either. The work has its own flow. You really don't have to disturb that. Then SMED, single minute exchange of die. Shingo, he is a maverick or a kind of miracle generator person. In auto industry, when you change the die, sometimes it used to take 3 shifts, 4 shifts, 8 shifts, sometimes 2 days, 3 days. But this person brought a complete path-breaking situation. Single minute exchange of die means single digit minute exchange of die. The die changing should not hamper my production of the auto industry, because press work is tremendous in auto. So that actually I used in my work actually. Can I do all the job in single minute? Can I think about intrinsic operation? Can I think about extrinsic operation? For example, when I exercise, after every 5 sets, I take a little rest. If I sit like this, it's a waste. Okay, then what can I do? Fine, there are sometimes mailers are there, so presets are there, some things are to be done, so that I do actually. Then Adharpan Ashray and Cheaper by the Dozen, that's a masterpiece. These 5 are there. Cheaper by the Dozen is actually authored by Gilbreth, father of time and motion study. Cheaper by the Dozen, those who all want to become a fantastic facilitator, try following some percentage of Cheaper by the Dozen. That father taught Morse code to his kins actually, just by using so much innovative work that these people have done. Shall I tell that story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know that story of Cheaper by the Dozen? This fellow has 12 children, and therefore it's like a phrase ki 12 घेतले तर कितीला देणार. So in English we ask that, will it come cheaper by the dozen? So anywhere he used to go there in hotel, we have 12, will it come cheaper by the dozen? Any snacks corner, will it come cheaper by the dozen? On that front he wrote this particular book. Now that person was amazing. And then he said that, hey, my kid should learn French. My kid should learn that Morse code. So he tried teaching. But obviously 90% of the participants are hostages. So they are there in the classroom just because their manager wanted. Same with the kids also. So he said, okay, forget it. So then what he did, one fine day he wrote on a wall something by Morse code. And below that he translated that and said that you will find a chocolate candy in the left pocket of my overcoat. One of those 12 got succumbed to this act and said that, and then every day he used to write something like this. And this person used to go there. Obviously the sibling followed, ya karta kya hai? So actually that's a wonderful method for facilitation. It's actual learning, no teaching. He wrote, he translated, people came, learned. So it's actually cheaper by the dozen. So these are my influencers.
Awesome. Now this is for you. Dash is a substance that starts or speeds up a chemical reaction without undergoing any permanent change itself. What is it? Catalyst. That's what you call yourself.
Yes, definitely. Catalyst, why? Because I need to draw the boundary when I am in this particular field. Now, catalyst doesn't get entangled into the reaction. It's a transit trading. Okay, you want to do this thing, okay, you don't understand it, okay, take my valency, communicate, give back my valency actually, get back to me. So that I don't want to get into the reaction, because reaction is purely in the learners, reaction is purely with them actually. If I get into that, it's a problem. And therefore I said I am a catalyst. I am not a transformer, I am not a trainer, I am not a facilitator, no, I am a catalyst. I sit there, and there is one more thing, catalyst cannot start the reaction. So that I am very clear. Gohe vina jau ne raja dwara, right? So catalyst must be added. Catalyst cannot say chalo chalo reaction karte. No way. So though their chemicals are there, they are not ready. When you see the participants, they are like different elements. Okay, that tungsten is not getting through with this particular. अच्छा ठीक है तो इसको वैलेंसी कितना चाहिए? चल 4 दे अभी बात कर. So something like that actually. So that's a catalyst. That's what my idea was.
Yeah. So through interactions, hand
Right.
holding,
So
teamwork,
all my
you achieve
design
that.
programs are based on catalytic agent.
Absolutely. Now, who's this? Look at that. Project manager.
This is the only unconfused statement.
This is the only unconfused. Absolutely. So, my question to you is advice for first-time project managers. Do you have anything specific?
You should know that he has become a project manager. That's the first advice, because many times it's an accidental project management, because even his boss doesn't know that I have just made a fellow as a project manager. So it's very clear, because like the onus of the behavior is actually in the generation up, frankly. So I will make two categories of the project managers. One, with the formal training on project management, other is not having any formal training on project management, and mostly we found the masses in not having the formal training in the project management. Let's imagine, pardon me if you don't like this particular analogy, but that's the best analogy that I can tell you. Imagine there is a person who is of 25-26 years old in location A, and he gets a message from somebody saying that you have just become a father. And then this fellow understands that I never married. Right? Okay, चलो पूछते तो है कहाँ है बच्चा? Then saying that no, that you will have to find. That is first time project manager. कि that fundamental jolt कि कब हुआ ये सारा, right? How come I become project manager? Okay, then बच्चा ढूंढो फिर अभी कहाँ है मेरा बच्चा? Because आधे आके he will say that I am your son actually. Fine. So that fellow has to come out of this particular jolt, and there is a way to do it. To come out of this particular jolt is all about initiating. Here, first of all, never accept these on face value. Ki there are people who claim their son is yours. That is wise project manager. That is wise project sponsor. Actually, project is a bacha of project sponsor. That is a blatant truth that project manager must understand. Therefore, I said that never say it's my project. Be a local guardian at the most. Never try to become a parent actually, because ये किसी और का है चक्कर. In a sense, that fellow. So he has told me कि okay, it is my. So let him say that it is my son, and I would like you to nurture him, foster him. That's okay. That will take care of it. So that is first thing that this project manager should understand. Shall I go ahead with this particular thing? Shall I accept this thing? And second is that be shameless. Actually, obviously.
Rao Sahib.
Yeah, Rao Sahib, because you don't hurt anybody. If you are getting hurt, if it is not coming in the project, ignore it. If it is coming in the project, be ruthless. As simple as that. So that is second. Third is, especially in our culture, sometimes it's lacking that the award goes to hero than manager. Yeah. Heroism is more award. It's a last minute fighting वगैरह यार, excellence award. And then nobody asks, कि fighting शुरू कब हुई? Why this fighting took place? Yeah, how come this? So that it's the cultural issue that we need to accept. That saying that okay, so documentation, drive for closure. So if you ask me, what is the focus of the project management, and therefore I said कि नरदेहामध्ये in human incarnation. Why I say project manager is the ultimate, ki like Naradeha, even project manager should have muktichi aas.
Mukti from project.
So project manager should continuously drive to. So that's why I always ask, what is the objective of a project manager? Inevitably across globe, right from Chicago to Melbourne, whatever, whenever I traveled, people wrote pages after pages. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai, wo karna hai. So that's a confusion. Ki project manager's objective, it cannot be its responsibility. Objective is objective, responsibility is responsibilities. Objective is to get out of the project. Ki moment somebody tells me this is your project, I start thinking tab yahan se bahar kaise niklu. Then only the project will be successful. If you yourself don't want to get out of the project, how can project be closed? And project has to be closed. And while getting out of it, you should be so sleek. It's like a straight drive or cover drive. So it's like that. Understand it's never your bacha. That is first thing. Second thing is find out the father of that bacha. Third is have a drive for closure and respect management, respect discipline, and go for documentation with drive for closure. These are 5 things that I'll definitely tell you.
Absolutely. You are also an MBTI certified accredited person, but even in spite of that, we all see you as a project management guy rather than MBTI. That's deliberate, I believe.
Because I always wanted to keep this under cachet. There is a reason for it, in fact, because this is one of my hobbies. I am an introvert. I never speak. I don't like to. In fact, it's not that I shouldn't be. But so I used to observe, and actually the credit goes to Shirish Joshi, who was once in Thermax and then become my mentor also. He said, why don't you do Australian psychologist praise Myers-Briggs type identification, because you have a knack of reading the people. It will become a good way. So this MBTI talks about those are the 16 personalities that you can see. One can make out from the way person walks. I can share one example. Very recently happened. I was facilitating one program at Lear Automotive. To my surprise, that the manager said that 18 participants are there, 16 are here, 2 will come at 11:30. So then, okay, fine. And then at 11 o'clock, one person walked in. And he walked in and one can make out, saying, what an introvert walking down, superb. One can make out the way introvert walks. Generally, he walks along with the sides of the walls, right? With maximum time looking down, right? Avoiding, he looks sideways, he pretends that he is not looking at one can make out he's actually taking senses from the environment over here. So I said, okay, have a seat. This was the voice level, actually. And I approached him, saying that, okay, this is the assignment that is happening, this is done it, okay, you do it actually. Another 10 minutes down the line, one person came in, extrovert. The seat that he chose, the way he walked in was evident. For that person, I simply said that that's a group and that's an assignment. That's it. So that was the real contribution of MBTI understanding, because introverts need autonomy. They need their cocoon to get confident about the overall environment. So that I created for this fellow. And then after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, have you understood that? Perfect. Okay, fine. Then I said, hey, remaining members, this person has joined the team. I have explained him whatever has happened. He is ready. I think he is at par with the assignment which you run. I think he can join. So that paving the path was important for the introvert. And by then, extrovert was actually started cracking the jokes. Now, this is how MBTI helps. Or while selecting the right people for PMO, actually MBTI shouldn't be used for selection. But once I get to know that, okay, these are 7 people with whom I need to set the PMO, one can make out, yaar, ye PMO head hai, lekin yahan maar khayega ye, something like this. So then I need to say that, okay, what are the lacunas of this personality? Can I refill this lacuna by taking this particular? So I intentionally keep it. This is my entertainment. This is my energy level bringing up. No. In fact, each process has its own characteristic. Project plan developer should be introvert. He should be sensing. He should be ISFJ personality should be a project plan developer. Whereas executor, if possible, he should be ESFJ. Of course, we can't get every time like that, but let's see. That's the fun.
Session plan. In your trainings, you still do, you have done whatever, right? 10,400 participants trained, 40 programs designed. You still prepare and study for each of your program, preparing such session plans like this?
I see this particular facilitation as such. It's like a vocal singer. I have cited, I've done Yaman. I have presented Yaman. तो हो गया अभी Yaman. ऐसा नहीं होता है ना. So every time he has to do riyaz. So what is riyaz in project training? Riyaz in training is session plan development. बैठे बैठे भी riyaz कर सकते हो, but that doesn't have any quantitativeness. It doesn't have any tangibility. So whatever riyaz you is doing, what is riyaz? How will I present this particular raga in front of the participants? What is the mood of the audience? What is the mood of the environment around there? So these session plans are actually the virtual executions of the actual training program created. And generally, for every training program, I prepare for 2 to 3 session plans ready. So at the moment, surprises are reduced. And then there is a fun actually. So session plans are always there. I think what you are showing is the session plan for
summary as well.
The today's, the Indore wala, Volvo session plan hai sara. Perfect. And the summary that I am saying that I ensure that 65% work should happen by the participant. And not more than 35% my intervention should happen. And then I must prove it to myself saying that bata 35% hai kya. So that is something there. Ki sum of enabling theory. That means it is my presentation.
Yes.
After that we are saying sum of group work and sum of group presentation. That means it is participant side. And then finally we are saying sum of extracting the learning. That's it. So if you see that here also the total of 32. Group work and group presentation is 38 plus 27.
65.
65, correct. And that has to be there actually, because we play with minds, we play with human beings, and we have to create a wonderful environment and get out of it. As simple as that. Maja karo, environment create a stage where actors will perform on their own. See to it that prudency of the program is not diluted. That's it. So this preparation is must actually.
And of course, it's a hard work, and that's what you're saying. That pays during the program.
Correct. And then you know what? Because of this, I can also enjoy.
Yes.
If I am not prepared, then my CPU will be busy. Kya aage kya karu? No, abhi maja hai. I become one of the participants. Therefore, I said during the event is already occurred in this. Yeah. Event is just performance actually. That's it.
Negative stakeholders. How do you deal? Are there many, and how do you deal?
Anyway, that is another learning project manager should have. Never try to become unwarranted ajata shatru वगैरह शक्य नहीं project manager. कि project manager cannot afford to say that I do not have people who don't who always support me. He is bluffing, frankly. There will be people, because your project will create some problems for others. So definitely there will be negative stakeholders. The way I manage are totally different ways. Like I said again, is it for my personal development? Then I generally don't get entangled. Earlier I used to get entangled. I used to retaliate because of that my nature. I am an ISTJ, introverted sensing, extroverted thinker. ते तत्वाला आता प्रश्न आणि ते 1995 पासून पुण्यात आहे त्यामुळे तो जास्ती झाला प्रश्न की how the hell that person is saying that it is wrong. No, forget it actually. So I used to fight a lot की आणि ते लहानपणापासून मी शेंगांची टरफलं खाल्ली नाहीत म्हणून मी ते नाही होत आता सध्या ते से ठीक आहे ते खाली चल जाऊन दे. Sometimes it happens, but if it is for personal growth, I tend to ignore it. I have started. That's actually the learning that has happened over a period. In projects, if it is there, I told you the guiding principle for a project manager is be honest with the project, right? So then you have to sam dam dandabhed, and you have to use it ruthlessly, because it's not my project. One, I am working for project's goodness. I am not having any vested interest whatsoever about this particular project. I am not earning anything out of it. I don't want to earn anything out of it. If this project has to reach the destination, come what may, I will have to get it done. So like we said, everything is fair and what did we say?
In love and war.
And project management.
And project management.
If you are honest to the project, then you have to do like this, because project is project. So many people are involved in the project. You can't afford to ditch them just by saying that aisa hua isliye nahi hua project. Sorry, it's a fugitive way. So negative stakeholders on the project front, sam dam dandabhed वापरावेच लागतात. On personal front,
avoid,
because it's a waste of time.
Listening ability. DG is a good listener. I mean, probably all of us will agree. He has that time, he has that ability to listen to whatever crap you are talking as well. And that's not an easy thing. Janmajat?
9.
Built?
Built by, see, most of the time I say that constraints actually are boon, because if constraints are not there, planning will be failure. Imagine if you are constructing the home and I am saying that no constraints on money, you will never end up building the home. I guarantee. When we have a constraint, time constraint, money constraint. So what was my constraint when I get into this particular field? I don't know any technology. I am zero. I don't know IT. I don't know engineering. I don't know. Only basic thing is that I say that I am an engineer, right? So everything is allowed. In a sense, what is engineering actually? You should be able to digest. You should be able to decipher. You should be able to listen to something that is not also being spoken. Why it created? Because whenever I used to go for the consulting work, let's say big piping work or IT, I never understand that. So I have no other choice but to learn, but to listen, but to understand them. And actually, the knowledge is always present. The information is always present. Somebody has to play the role of deciphering agent. So, okay, anyway, I don't know that. So let me do that deciphering role. And you will not believe. It's a collaboration. That's where the catalyst role comes into play also. So that's how the listening ability started coming in out of constraint. If I want to get this project done well for those people, then I need to understand what these people are talking about, and other way also what this person is not talking about. And therefore I started developing the agency. Now listening doesn't mean all the time giving. Listening means countering also. For example, sometimes I ask question, यार वो deliverable, let's say that high tension cable कब तक आएगा, और that API library कब तक आएगी. The person says that वो December end तक आना चाहिए. The question is कब तक आएगी, answer is आना चाहिए. Oh, then I need to be active listener over here. No, that is your wish, I feel. What does your schedule say? Schedule है ही नहीं. That is evident. The fact is that he says आना चाहिए. That means you don't have any document there actually. So I cannot say upfront saying that ये document नहीं है. I say that हाँ तो अभी देखो document में नहीं है. वो ठीक है, we'll make it. Okay. So that's the idea behind listening actually, because I don't have technical competencies. I don't have domain competencies. I have to listen.
Now what next?
Lunch.
Good one. But beyond that?
After that actually. What next? I mean, I have always shared whatever comes to my mind, if it is about the project. Like I talked about drama competition over here, and I don't know, this Vastu has that energy. I always felt that. It has wonderful positive energy, one can make out. So, next is this. One of my very close colleague, he has started leadership. Many people are doing the leadership training and all. Whenever I see their contents, I always say that, can't you find all these contents in our scriptures? Can't you find all these contents in our own Vedas? And why every time we have to play videos of, in fact, that's the fundamental reason behind creating the glimpses of Balutedaars as well. Why every time we have, it's not nothing against anybody, it's nothing against any country and any race. But it's in Indian context, let's listen to what Indian has to say in our particular way. So therefore I started saying that, in fact, I am chanting this since ever I started memorizing, whatever, I don't know when I learned this. But it is shortest description with all possible leadership competencies defined in Atharva Shirsha. So I want to conduct some sessions on this particular part. I will do it because that actually. So then there are, what a wonderful, the sloka or the rucha is there. Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnu, Tvam Rudra, Tvam Indra, Tvam Agnis, Tvam Vayus, Tvam Surya, Tvam Chandrama. Oh, look at the competencies that these people have. Vayu means that can touch everybody. So do you have a competency to touch everybody by body, mind and intellect? Create that. That's a leader. Tvam Surya, do you have an ability to create enthusiasm with everybody? If not, create that. Chandra, do you have an ability to create creativity? Nahi to create it.
Now I guess the stage is open for, we'll have to leave it open.
Sir, do you plan to do something for the non-Maharashtrians? I tried to read some of those articles, but I could not, actually make out. So, do you plan to translate that in English?
Atharva Shirsi is already translated. That is available for download on my website.
Okay. You say that we should never get attached to a project. So, I'm a little confused here, because how do I get a passion for the project if I don't get attached to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I may not be able to answer this, but I am always confused. Why do you want to get attached to do a good job? If you are a local guardian, therefore I do that particular parallel. Be a trustee. A trustee should not get attached. Local guardian, somebody else's kid is with me. I will take care of him. If need be, I will reprimand him. I will foster him, nurture him. But I cannot say that it's my kid actually. Then there will be problems. So I don't think. In fact, attachment creates negative energy, in my opinion. Ye mera hai, mera hai, mera hai. That's a problem. That is why I say my perspective. In fact, it happened. Let me give an example over here. In one of the organizations, the PMO was running well, but due to some negative stakeholders, that PMO was cranked off actually. In fact, of course, tomeva kevalam karta asi, tomeva kevalam harta asi. So that PMO in charge should not say that, unke wajah se gaya. So if you knew that, you should have had that Sam Dam Danda Bhed, right? And first of all, that PMO project was not yours. Whose project was that? The organization leader there. If he is not worried, or if he is not crying even if his son is died, why are you crying? That's my perspective actually. So it becomes easy.
Observing you for a couple of hours late, you don't appear to be introvert at all. So what are the qualities of introvert other than walking like this?
First of all, here I have got the autonomy. See, you said it actually. See, basically, introvert doesn't mean who doesn't speak. Introvert fundamentally means that you would like to get within, and whenever necessary, whenever it feels, in fact, you know what? If two introverts are there, they can beat extroverts in their chats. Fundamental introvert competency is that basically, like mobile phones, every instrument that is in the reincarnation form has to get energy. For introvert, basically the energy charging happens within. So therefore, whenever that person gets discharged, that person gets out. So that is energy charging for an introvert happens within. So that is one characteristic. Second characteristic of an introvert is that that person is extremely aware about what is happening inside. He may not be aware about what is happening outside. Many times introverts face a foot in mouth situation, like, they say that, "Arey yaar, usne wo resign kar diya," and extrovert sitting on that side, "Oh, ek mahina ho gaya." So this gentleman never understands what is happening outside. Therefore they will not get mingled, they will not interact a lot. In fact, one can make out from the movements of the phone that is in his hand. Extrovert generally make a call and speak. Introvert gets done deals on SMS. The writing, they want emails, they want writing something. They need time for themselves. If you want to disturb an introvert, I'll tell you how to disturb it. Go to the restaurant, entire restaurant is empty. Introvert will necessarily select a place near to the wall, near the corner. And if you want to disturb him, simply go and sit in front of him. That's it you have to do. Right? One can make out from, in fact, the thing that I learned from, that was Linda Kirsby. In fact, she had worked with Myers and, so it's that time she taught me, that time she was around 70 plus and she was an INFP. So I wanted to test my GAN on my guru, right? So on third day, it was a big workshop actually. She used to grill us like anything. And then she always used to sit at the table of two. So I wanted to test it and I did it actually. So he said, "DG, can we speak later?" Introvert confirmed. That's how actually. Those are some characteristics actually.
Whatever person I know as DG is a very simple person. Simplicity, I just don't know how to explain word simplicity for DG. I want to ask question now to DG is what are the efforts you make to be such a simple thought process and such a simple person?
See, when we say there are 4 types of Vani, Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani. So now I am speaking, that is actually the front edge of the transactional part, this Vani. The packaging of something that I am putting forth, in this body language of them doing, or the words and the synonyms that I am choosing, it's a Madhyama. Below that we have Pashyanti, and much before that there is Para. Para is too far. In fact, it's like Ya Hruday se Tya Hruday. Without even me doing anything, you understand something. So that competency I don't have. But then what is Pashyanti? Pashyanti, for any transaction, foundation is a vision. Foundation is visualization. No, I don't try simplicity. I try only one thing. Can I transform my vision to his eyes? Whatever it takes, then it becomes simple. It becomes simple. Because if I am seeing something, I need to pass it to that particular person. Then by drawing, then by giving close to heart examples. So the project manager should never become Hiranyakashipu. That much I say. What do you mean by that? Ki Hiranyakashipu got killed where? Umra. Boundary. So if the boundary definition is weak, project manager is bound to get killed. So that connections, it happens actually. So bringing simplicity is not my focus. Transforming my vision to somebody else is my way. Therefore I draw a lot. I draw lots of pictures. And therefore I transform that PMBOK into two-dimensional diagram ultimately. That's the idea. So I create lot of alternatives to transform my vision to somebody else.
Exactly.
So the alternative creation needs lots of, that's where the session plan comes into picture.
That makes, things
That's-
so
then that is-
easy to understand
Yes.
to people, and it's amazing.
Good morning, DG. Let me share first one small experience and to validate what he shared, that yes, he is a catalyst. Actually, PMI and DG has a great connection, but when we were worked together on one project at Thermax, in fact, DG was a batsman who made a century. We together made certification of 100 project managers at Thermax, and great work thanks to you. And in fact, so it was a wonderful project. In spite of having DG and PMI relation, DG designed a program where we did international certification of IPMA project certification. So that is one. So I think now, DG, it's a time that why we really need to depend on outside certification bodies. Why cannot we have DG project managers certification? When you are going to start that?
There I would like to connect with the question of introvert. Since I am introvert, I don't think I'll get into this issue. But I can say that, okay, if somebody wants to create it, I will definitely give the content. We will definitely have good way to validate also. That's possible. But it's a lot of work there, and I am lethargic. It's a huge work actually. Coordination.
He is lethargic with 12 hours a day and 360 hours a month. So
but I would need
I'm
this
okay
support.
with it.
So my question to DG is, when you're driving the society, where is it coming from to you?
No, actually I am not doing that. Let me tell you very clearly. I am selfish because one cannot end up, see, basically there is no point in saying that, okay, everybody should do that and so on. So forget it, be selfish. If I understand project management, let me start using it in my personal projects. Like that, if 10 people use, that 10 people have their own society. That's it. So it is too difficult to, otherwise Pune traffic would have been much simpler than whatever is now. The signal tells you stop, people don't. And then if I tell you should have a schedule, it's much complex than the red signal. Forget it. So that's the reason I am catalyst. So if I see reciprocation there, I am into it fully. But I will not be able to get into the reaction. I can assist the reaction. I will not be able to trigger the reaction. That I am made very clear since beginning actually. So ऐसा नहीं है कुछ. Individual पे level पे काम होता है. And there will be people, again many people ask, which organization is wonderful in terms of project management? I openly say, I have not seen even a single. Very clear. But if you want, I will give you the list of people, you can bet on them. कि कौन project कर रहा है? RAGs ना, project will be successful. But कौन से organization में, I doubt actually. It is too generic a situation, it's like saying that this society is very disciplined. I doubt. Like that, no.
Sheikh, sir.
Sheikh from Bombay Navy.
Yes, sir. I came from Bombay. Actually, I tried last 2-3 times with your Balutedaars and all the interviews, but I didn't make it. But now this time I really make it, and with my family also I came here. So it's my love or respect, whatever you can say, towards DG. Is it a person is mandatory or important for any project, or a system we have to develop?
What I have understood is that is it a person or a system? No, we cannot bifurcate person and a system. A system will come into picture. In fact, when I was alone, I had a system. You can check in. I have operational standard operating procedures drafted of 42 pages document. I have it. Whenever I was alone working, I had that document. So when Geeta joined in, it was easy, saying that, okay, read that and then I'll tell you how to do that. When I got REP, Registered Education Provider, it was walk-in actually. They said that, okay, you are already doing job that we expect you to do. So system will always be there. System, in fact, every home has its own system. What I am hearing is probably, is it necessary to be documented or not documented? Probably. Then it has to be documented. And then thing remains is that one person is following the system, remaining 3 are not following the system. Can we create some environment so that either these 3 or one all start following this particular system? And there again that Samdam Dandabhed comes into picture. Project management, again, be systematic, create, see, as a human being, if I tell you I can read palms well, abhi bolta hu main, I can read palms well. Bolo, kya aa gaya man mein? What did you think? Honestly बोलो अभी जाते जाते हाथ दिखाएंगे मतलब right? That means I don't so that means there is a drive to know what gonna happen in future. So can I bring in that kind of quantitativeness? If I can bring in that till the time I have decided to be terrestrial world, I'll say that okay, I will have to have that kind of drive. So that predictability, if I can bring in quantitative, it is easy and you don't have to become somebody.
Hello, DG.
Hi.
So you said once you are off the stage, you forget about everything. I mean, forget about that incident or event. So when you think, I mean, you sit and plan. So does a lot of things about future come in your mind? And if it is overwhelming, how do you control it?
I use pen and paper because the RAM size that I need, I say that we must work at least 24 or 40 GB RAM. But even that 40 GB RAM sometimes becomes weak and you are not able to keep at the random access memory all the time. So to reduce the RAM and to make your CPU more efficient, so make papers actually. I do that in fact, various work, to do, not to do. I have lots of papers. I am a paper kind of maniac. I write all those things. So it becomes automatically outside me. That's how there is only way to control the overwhelmingness. Overwhelmingness nahi hai wo, it's a confusion. And when we are confused, we feel like we are overwhelmed. And then we say that, yaar, kya overwhelmed? 2 scenario tune likha hai. You have written only 2 scenarios. When you have 10 scenarios, then you have some moral right to say that I am overwhelmed. It's a confusion. So if I write on paper, generally it is no question of overwhelming.
Hello, DG. Yeah. So this is not a question actually, just a thought that came, funny thought or something came to my mind. Looking at you wearing that T-shirt with PM Oath behind, I thought that everybody should, every project manager should, have this worn. And like you have been telling in most of the sessions that everybody is a project manager in their life. Like going from here till catching a train, it's a project. Everything is a project. So whenever you are confused or, tensed in your life, the PM Oath, the processes talk to you. The PM Oath will tell you, "Bihu nokos, mi tuja patishi hai."
But I mean, let me tell you very clearly.
Sure.
If not project manager, somebody standing in front of him should wear this T-shirt. Because if I am wearing it, I will not be able to see it, right? That's true.
What she's saying is more people wear it, will see it in front as well.
That's true actually.
Yeah.
Many times it happens like you are willing to take some project and those come to you. But many times it also happens that you don't like the project. Your thought process is not aligned with the outcome that is going to come out of that project, and then you are the chosen one. How do you deal with that?
Okay. Actually, that's the biggest advantage that I have because I am doing job for myself. It's not the time or the money that I decided to do on my own. I never wanted to compromise on quality. Since I am working on my own, so I said that I will not do this project, as simple as that. There are many a times I have communicated with the client saying that I'm sorry, in fact there is no, but I think I don't want to do this very clearly, because I could see, I could sense, I could smell something that I don't want to smell. So I say that very clearly. But when I am in salary, I have enough bank balance or do it. There is another breed of high net worth bonded laborers. And it was, at least earlier bonded laborers have fantastic excuse saying that koi zamindar tha baanne ke liye. Today we ourselves are zamindar actually. I am telling you upfront ki every month I meet at least 35 to 40 people. Out of 35 to 40 people, I get connected very close with at least 10 to 12 people. And out of 12 people, at least 6 people tell me, यार बोर हो गया यार ये नहीं करना है फिर भी करना चाहता हूँ ये करना तो छोड़ नहीं वो अभी प्रमोशन है. So again, if I am bound by something, then I will have to do it, as simple as that. I never had this particular problem, so I will not be able to answer that कि ऐसे कैसे मैं करता ही नहीं हूँ project को. I don't do it.
Sorry, I came in 9 minutes late, so I'm not sure if this was covered. But you've been a mechanic and engineer, you've done your MBA, and like a lot of people, you could have chosen the regular route of being a project manager, retiring. What was your turning point where you decided that I'm going to help people apply that, understand that, apply that, and recognize that in people who are already doing it? What was your turning point?
I knew this in a sense. I knew what I like. That was very clear. I always liked facilitation, and like Suteta said, simplifying actually. In fact, whenever I was in engineering, I used to teach thermodynamics. That was my favorite subject. And I said, there thermodynamics, so it is there everywhere. Pressure cooker is full of thermodynamics. So where is the question in understanding superheated steam? Touch it, then you'll understand it is heated. So I knew that since engineering first year, second year, third year, fourth year, there were situations where I said that jo bolunga sach kahunga. In third year, second year, third year, even our drawing professors, they used to say that, has Dhananjay seen that sheet? Okay, then we'll sign. I knew that, I have that particular ability. It got reinforced when I was in Greece, Athens. There was a Greek lady, Isabel, and actually she gave me that PM box. So I asked her also, Isabel, have you read that book? She said, it's really wonderful. So I said, did you read that book, Isabel? She said, no, it appears wonderful. So that generally happens with any book actually. They said, okay, let me check whether it is really wonderful. Then the transformation of PMO in NatWest Bank, when I was reporting to Len Stanley of NatWest Bank CIO, that happened well. So I said, oh, look at that. It's not engineering, but I think I can make things simpler. I can make it flow. And somewhere I have an ability, because of probably my introvertedness, to quickly get out of the situation. Ki, theek hai, hua na, abhi samjha na, so thank you very much, relieve me. So that is the thing that one needs as a facilitator. And I decided to do it. And in 2000, I decided I'll do it. I enjoyed it. I am enjoying it. Therefore, I never get tired.
Hi, DG. Actually, my question is, like we know all about, now we have come to know about the DG. What are those 5 disciplines you have followed to become from Dhanya te Dhananjay to the DG? What are those disciplines you have followed?
But no, I never followed any discipline. Keeping this in mind, let me be very, very honest and confess it. I always wanted to excel in whatever I do. Once again, my grandfather came into picture, the Seagull came into picture. There is a wonderful book, Surely You Are Joking, Mr. Fenman. Amazing book. So that person, wherever he used to go, he used to excel. And then I said that, if he can do that, why I can't do that? So whatever need for excellence, that hard work is needed, due diligence is needed, documentation is needed, practice is needed, and fundamentally shamelessness. What people will say, I never had this question. So these 4 to 5 things I always followed. Today also I follow that.
Hi DG.
Namaste sir.
So you have traveled the world and you have met PMs from different countries. So what is your view about the cultural difference play a role in people enacting the project management role?
Certainly. I'll cite one example. In fact, from Zensar itself, I had gone to Silica Fund, South Africa. And I got zapped when I saw, when I met 7-8 people there who were actually doing the project management office setup for Silica funds, and all of them were project management certified postgraduate people. That's the first thing. Appreciation for the formal learning in the field of project management is really great in the some countries actually. Again, I am not comparing anything, but that is one. Documentation that I saw, in fact, in Mercedes-Benz, I used to work with Germans. We used to call one fellow as a Guruji, Ziegler. Wow, I mean the understanding of the document, he never hesitated to have a pen and pencil with him. He used to say that, okay, I think these are the 2 important lines in your particular word or later. So that thing that I saw, so these are the cultural differences in a sense. One is that there is a world where following the processes has become the second nature. There is a set of area where how to beat the process has become the second nature. There is an area where let me follow this because others are following this. So those things I have already seen, and that precisely happens the clash. In fact, the project managers from our end, when speaks with the European people, it's not that these people don't know. They don't know how to explain it. That person is demanding work breakdown structure, and we are talking about costing and schedule. So that really happens actually. That is something my understanding on this particular front. And one thing that I have learned over a period, they don't hesitate to an extent. Wherever good project managers have seen, culture doesn't mean only country-wide culture, good project management culture and not so good project management culture. In good project management culture, project manager doesn't hesitate to say that I don't know this. Not so good project management culture, I want to know this and why I don't know this. That's a massive problem that comes into picture. No, you are not supposed to know that. So that is the biggest difference that I have seen. And many times I tell people, especially in our area, where people have actually moved from technology to project managers, and I also don't know how they become project managers. That sometimes have become the retention policy also, कि भाई 6 साल है उसको अभी बोलो project manager, नहीं तो छोड़ के जाएगा. It has happened many times. And then that somebody becomes senior project manager. क्यों? वो नीचे वाले को project manager बनाना है, तो उसके क्या करें? That senior project manager become program manager. But there are lots of organizations in Pune. They called me for conducting program management session. And sometimes I become blunt saying that I will conduct it, but do you have programs to manage? And then when we go to the depth saying that, hey, this is not a program, you are just managing few projects together, that's it. Program needs total different competency altogether. So even those are the few differences that I have seen.
So Dhananjay, no question for you. I just wanted to share with the group. I have seen him in '96. He joined the quality department.
UI change झाला माझा, user interface.
And he used to sit in one corner studying Microsoft projects on his own. And within few days, I think all the project managers in the organization started going to him, Dhananjay, how do I do this? Dhananjay, how do I do that? And today I see you here, and I've attended some of the PMP sessions also and organized also for some of the organizations. And I'm so happy for you, and all the best for your future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That credit goes to Anup Sable.
No. You also said that introverts are more into planning.
Okay, sorry.
Right. So I indirectly understand that you like planning, and of course, planning is very, very important for project managers. I've seen many project managers that they like planning, and they like planning in their own lives as well. Not in their projects, but in lives also. I've seen many other people who like no planning in their life, and they still enjoy the life.
Yeah.
What kind of person you are in your personal life?
I like planning.
Good.
I enjoy planning.
Okay.
I do enjoy planning, in fact. I told you I can tell names of the good project managers. Ninad is one of them. I don't hesitate to say that because something good I need to tell that. He is. I have case studies with him. I have recorded him. I have interview of him. I have MP3 of yours.
And let me tell you that Dhananjay is junior to me.
Yes, he is.
But he is my guru. And I claim that in every possible platform and forum that I have the PM oath which is pasted on my board. Okay, so I don't need to follow you and talking and walking the oath, but it's there. And every time the only thing which comes in my mind is there's a lot of chaos in the world, and our job is to make that chaos little less.
Little less.
Thank you very much for your existence in my life.
So, thank you. So I think thank you very much for attending. I also want to acknowledge, you spending your Sunday morning with us. We are running a little late, so apologies for that. There was a lot of effort that was also put in organizing this, and I want to acknowledge Abhay, Mandar, Sunil, Anand, Mandar Damle, Shashank, Anand Ruikar, Shaunak, our videographer. As I said, Dhanashri and Avanti, we used that background score while you were coming in. Amit Bachal, Shripad Tete, sound specialist, I think he actually helped us on every front. When we came in here, housekeeping was not in, so that's Shripad. So thanks, Shripad. Suraj for light and stage arrangements. Harshad Rajpatak, who's the venue coordinator. And last but not the least, Geeta. I think she's not even here. She might be right out the door. Without their efforts, this was not possible. So thanks all. And we'll leave on this note. Bhairavi, that's how we actually close. And this person in a completely different mood, playing on the harmonium. शिस्तबद्ध मनोभावजी.